When I go hiking, all I think about is how can I get to the top as fast as humanly possible. There's actually a mountain here in Scottsdale where you go up, and there are some of the most spectacular sights. Pistoia Peak, I believe it's called, or Squaw Peak. And there's great stops along the way that when you're walking up, you see people sitting at, taking pictures, looking, observing, having a good time. And for some reason in my body and my brain is just hardwired. When I'm starting that, I just say, Josh, get to the fucking top as fast as you humanly can. You should pass every single person going up here, and you can never let someone behind you pass you. I mean, as fucked up as it sounds, it's actually the way that my body just reacts. And so that leads to me just going as fast as I humanly can, going up this mountain trying to get to the top. And then at the top, I'll sit and I'll look for a few minutes and then say, well, I'm ready to get back down and do something else. And even though I know I would have a more enjoyable time if I stopped at each, let's say, at 2,000 feet, at 4,000 feet, at 6,000 feet, and these are just analogies, I would actually have a better overall experience, and I would soak up more nature, and I would probably be more fulfilled. But it's so difficult to do it in practice. And I think I could be doing that in business, in my business journey as well, where I am thinking about what's going to happen when my company is doing X figure per year, just a ridiculous amount of money per year, when I have X amount of employees, when I am doing these super cool things, when I'm already a few thousand feet up on this mountain. And if I looked around, I would see some fucking awesome things just being present. But in practice, it's so difficult for me to do that. And I know this to be the case because most of the friends and clients and relationships that I have are right now with people that are making 9, 10 figures plus per year in their businesses. And they have hundreds of employees or thousands in some cases. And all of them had a similar disorder, let's just call it. And all of them said, well, at the peak, you're never happy. You are just going to look for another mountain instantly. Every single one says you should stop and observe everything going around you. So why doesn't anyone do it? When I know that's the right answer, I know it is. And I'm making a video on this right now, but there's a pretty high likelihood that a week from now, I am instantly going back, sprinting up the mountain as fast as humanly possible again. And I mean, tomorrow, I'm probably going to be doing the exact same thing. But my life now is so ridiculously awesome. It's fucking insane. I mean, every single day is the best day of my entire life. It's been like this for months and months on end, where I wake up just can't believing the situation that I'm in. Today, for example, I was at Robert Kiyosaki's house, one of the most famous authors of in the finance space, and we were test driving all of his cars. We were there. I work with him. We were doing a bunch of work all morning. And then me and PJ went to go get lunch. Then he called me. He said, hey dude, I have another car getting dropped off. You want to come by? So he gets this new Shelby Mustang, rare car or something like that. And he's like, well, let's take this shit for a spin. So it's a 6 gear. I'm actually pretty impressed with myself here. I haven't driven stick in a while and I didn't stall out on it. I was fucking damn careful because Robert was already like, dude, do not fuck this car up. I just got it. You're the first one driving it. And so I'm driving this thing, didn't stall out. And then we just said, well, let's drive all of your cars. So he has just these awesome cars. I mean, we're just driving like basically houses. He has 2 cars that are $400,000 each. And we were just fucking cruising around in those things, just having a great time. And so that is my baseline for how awesome something has to be for me to get some sort of dopamine stimulation is just so much higher now. Like my base level, like entertainment is just so high because honestly, this was just a very regular day. This is the kinds of stuff that is happening pretty much every single day. And when that you start to get numb to a lot of these great things that are going on, which I don't know if you get numb to it. You just get used to it. And it's still absolutely awesome. I mean, today was fantastic. Still, mentally, all I'm thinking about is, Josh, you have to get to the top of the mountain as fast as possible. And I know that's so stupid because I know the second I get to the top of, let's say, the current goal that I have of making X millions of dollars and doing these certain things that, and I would say the goal, but it is going to be different for every single person. And let's just say it's $50 million per year in revenue coming in. I know the second I hit that, there might be 5 minutes of nice job, Josh. What's next? And what actually happens for me is I mentally hit my goals months or a year or two before I get there. And so where I am with my current income, I was mentally thinking about where I am today over a year ago. I mean, I was 100% committed. I was like, oh, that's of course where I'll be. I thought I'd actually be there sooner. And so the second I hit my current income, I was instantly just saying, well, I need to go 10 times bigger. So this actually never felt good. The current income I have feels broker than ever, which is 10 times more than I ever thought I ever would have been able to make in my entire life. So the satisfaction actually never really comes, but that's not going to change my behavior. And I don't know if it should. I don't even know. I would probably ask Ken about that on Monday. Ken's a guy that I work with. He has just billions of dollars. He has 10,000 apartments. And so he's been there. I don't know. I mean, another thing I'm having a hard time with right now is just the paradox of choice. I actually really don't like it when I go into a restaurant that seems incredible, that has the biggest menu I've ever seen, and every single thing on there sounds spectacular, because then I get indecisive and I end up ordering an egregious amount of food. I'll just order family style for everyone and say, hey guys, I'll order, and I'll just get like 7 different dishes. We'll all get so full I want to throw up. And it's always great. I mean, that's spectacular. But that's not just with food. That's in all aspects of life. I mean, online dating, let's say. If you are, let's just say, in a situation where you're online dating and there's just unlimited choices of, you have the super high-end steak, you have the best pizza in the world, you have every single flavor of everything that you could ever want, it leads to that same feeling of, well, I guess I'll just have everything, when that is not the best way for long-term satisfaction. And I know that is the case. But we live in a world where there's just so much overstimulation. And I'm right now just living through a time of just so much stimulation that I think I really just need to cut down. But that's challenging to do, because when there's so many things going for you, and I don't want to sound pretentious, and so I'm really just using vague terminology, but it really is. I mean, the second you hit a goal, it's meaningless. And for me, I mean, I hit a goal a year before I even hit it. And then I'm already on to the next 3 or 4 things. So I honestly don't know where I'm going with this, because I don't have any solution. In fact, quite the contrary. And I don't think it's necessarily a problem, but it is something to note, where there is no real satisfaction point. And I just want to conquer the world. And I'm just going to keep on doing that. It doesn't mean you're just going to be happy. It's definitely, your tolerance to cool stuff just goes up and up and up and up. And then it's just really just baseline. And so this is really a curse and a blessing, where I think if I were to have, let's say, some massive overnight success and my income does go up 10, 20, 30 times, and I'm making millions of dollars per month, for me, that achievement would feel good for quite a while, because it's such a vast thing. But very, very quickly, probably in a few months, I would say I need to do something bigger, because your baseline for what I have to do is I cannot drop below what I just did. This is now my new baseline. And the reality is, you could have just got lucky. Right place, right time. And a lot of the circumstances why I am where I am today are just vast amounts of luck. I mean, I think I'm probably the luckiest person ever, where I mean, I have opportunities, and the things that I have going on are insanely lucky. If I did 100 times cooler things, I would think that's my baseline. And if I don't go over that, then I'm a failure. Maybe I wouldn't think like that. I mean, at least this is in my current thought process. This is something I have to overcome and really just focus on. The journey's the most awesome part. Even though I have so much fun and every single day is the best day of my entire life, it's still a conflicting. I mean, I guess probably the key is being grateful and trying to be present. I'm very grateful. I have a much harder time being present. I guess that's the ultimate answer. It's just the journey is always the goal. And recently, I just want all the things everyone else has. That's actually, I mean, that's pretty tough to stomach and admit. But I mean, it's fun when your clients and your friends and they have planes and the coolest cars in the world. It's easy to say, well, I want that now when they're like 30, 40 years older than me. It's weird trying to dissect your own thoughts and actions. I mean, that's just a weird thing to do in general.